Alright, today I've been getting some questions about mage hand techniques. So I'm just going to go over a few techniques for mage hand inventory management and equipment management. Some on PC, some on console, some on both.
Pull yourself together.
I'm not too good on console, but we have the mage hand inventory open with I. You can see I have the ballast armor equipped. And you can hit that preview button to briefly view the mage hand's equipment and inventory. Okay. We have Ambusher passive, the Aura of Murder, etc.
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
So all we have to do to equip items is use items that basically Gale can consume, which I'll link in the description. And you can see you can't really right click and use it or equip it, but you can just click on it on PC. I think you can do the same thing on console, and the Mage Hand has it equipped now. Okay. Now, Mage Hand does not have any equipment proficiencies, so you can see you cannot use the abilities that require you to be proficient with the item, but we can use Shriek. We can get certain passive benefits even though we are not proficient with the ballast armor, light armor. Okay. Not being proficient with equipment, just like your character, will make it so you can't cast certain spells. So we can cast Shriek here. If we want to, we can do a quick short rest, then pause, and start combat while Mage Hand's invisible, and just shrieking around enemies completely safe. Or we can use a potion of invisibility and just have an invisible Mage Hand in the middle of all the enemies with the Fowler Shriek active, completely safe. Okay. Now if Mage Hand dies, Mage Hand will the item that Mage Hand has equipped or in the inventory will get completely lost. Okay. But we can do that with all sorts of items. So here we have the Ballast Cowl from Act 3, and that is, we can't cast the spell for See Invisibility because we don't have proficiency with the light armor from the ballast armor, but we do get the passive +2 to initiative, which is great since we have +0 base initiative. Now with the ballast armor and the cowl we have +4 to initiative, and we'll show that in a second. So again, if you die with any equipment, any inventory, you will completely lose those items. So here we have the initiative. We're at +4 now with the Mage Hand. Having added initiative on Mage Hand to be able to act on the same turn as your main character is extremely useful. So how do we unequip the Fowler Louvre so we don't lose it in case we want to use Mage Hand for something else? Well, we'll see that in a second here. So basically we can just have Mage Hand equip another one of the equipable items here. So we'll use Ritual Dagger, which is on the list of items that Gale can consume. We can even use the Blood Sacrifice if we want to get low health and use items that require, being below 50% health. Mage Hand has resistance, so we just take 1 damage. We can use it to manipulate our health, and then add like a shield from... I forgot what it's called, but that Illithid Power shield. Now since we equipped that dagger over the Fowler Louvre, we can just throw the Fowler Louvre on the ground, and then take the Fowler Louvre back with our character. Okay. You will still lose the Ritual Dagger now if you die, but this is a way to not use any what I consider exploits that are not intended. Now, you can see when I use the preview, I can quickly grab the boots. If I place the boots over the boots in my inventory, nothing happens. Okay, so what you want to do is equip whatever item it is that you want to equip onto Mage Hand. So I actually don't have the items that I want to equip on Mage Hand here, so I'll be looking through my inventory for the Boots of Speed, which I think is an excellent pair of boots to have on Mage Hand if you want to use these exploits. And credit to Bouch for his video, which I'll link in the description, for teaching me how to do this. So, using the equipping over and then throwing the item out of your inventory, like I said, you can just sacrifice items you don't care about that way that are on the list. It's up to you. Or you can use, if you're on PC, this next technique that I'm about to show you. But the prior one works on console. So we'll click the preview button and then we'll just quickly grab the item. So we got the boots here, and then we'll place it over our boots and the boots will swap. And now we have a dash on Mage Hand, which is one of the main abilities that Mage Hand's missing. Dash, help would be the two major ones. So now Mage Hand can dash, double their movement with the boots of speed on a bonus action. Really great for mobility. But again, you'll lose that item if Mage Hand dies. And if you watch Bouch's video, you'll see there's also a forced kind of Mage Hand death where you lose the items at the very end of Act 2. But let's see a little bit more of that sort of technique. Okay. So if we just want to unequip the item, we just grab it and we can just drop it into a blank spot in our inventory, and that completely unequips items safely. We can do that with all the items in our inventory if, you know, I'm actually quick and accurate with it, which I was kind of tired today after working 12 hours, so I was a little bit slow with my mouse, but there you go.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Let's talk about the next thing. So this is someone on Reddit taught me this who plays on console. So I think it works on console, but I don't have console to test on. But what if we want to place items in Mage Hand's inventory to use? Okay. And by use, I mainly mean throw. Mage Hand can't directly interact with items in the inventory like we can. For example, just drinking potions or casting spells. But Mage Hand can throw items from the inventory. Okay. So I reverse pickpocket Mage Hand. I stealth, right-click Mage Hand, and then select the pickpocket. Hide, right-click Mage Hand, select pickpocket. And let's see if we can get these smoke powder grenades into, or smoke powder bombs into Mage Hand's inventory by reverse pickpocketing them. And we can't. If we right click the item, it says we can't transfer it to Mage Hand's inventory. If we try to drag it over, it says it's too heavy even if we split it up. But I have a PlayStation 4 controller plugged into my PC right now. So what we'll do is we'll swap to the controller controls, which you can use on console. Just by wiggling around the controller, pressing some buttons. And then we select plant with the triangle button on our PlayStation controller, and that drops it into the Mage Hand inventory. You can do this with potions, you can do this with water bottles, you can do this with bombs, grenades, whatever you want. And then you can have Mage Hand just throw those items from the inventory. You can have Mage Hand throw knives or returning pike. You'll see in one of my other videos, I think versus the mummies, I kind of had both the Bloodthirst dagger from Orin and the returning pike and alternated throwing them so that they returned to the Mage Hand's inventory and kind of flip-flopped. You cannot throw the weapon that is currently equipped to Mage Hand. I was saying if you can quickly grab the smoke powder bombs from the inventory and take them out, I do not think you have a way of getting rid of these items from the Mage Hand's inventory. You will, again, lose them if Mage Hand dies. And since these are bombs, you can't just throw them on the ground to take them back. They will just explode. So you have no way of dropping them after you place them in the Mage Hand inventory. Obviously, there's a lot of different possibilities of what you can do with the Mage Hand, especially with Mage Hand Legerdemain, since it lasts indefinitely instead of just for 10 turns every short rest. Since you can have it indefinitely invisible and refresh that invisibility on a short rest. Like all other summons, you can drink elixirs, and here you can just watch me fumble around with the preview menu, trying to grab things, being slow. I will get it eventually, it just takes a second. But yeah, if anyone knows a way to get rid of the smoke powder bombs, feel free to let me know, add it in the comments. But I think they are stuck there once you place them until you throw them. If you have any questions about anything or suggestions, please let me know. And thanks for watching.